Yes, guys. So module one, when you will click this one, I have made one posting to this. When you will scroll down, you will see this, the risks of artificial intelligence. Yeah. So please watch this clip. What are the risks? How we can minimize those? What are the things we should keep in mind? That is one posting I made. And then for number three, AI issues, concerns, and ethical considerations. We have been talking about bias, and these are the two clips which I showed, which I asked you to see in your own time. Now I have added this reading for bias. I think it is very important to read these type of articles. As I was mentioning that it has not much to do with programming and those type of things. It is more to do with psychology of people, understanding people, how you can minimize the the stereotyping which people have, and with those stereotypes and biases, when they are going to program, those things are automatically going to come in their work. It is going to reflect somewhere, just like in our discussions. From the discussions, from the things someone says, we can analyze that this is the mindset they have. Just like we had 1 week of interaction, but all of you can have some understanding of all the people in the class. You can have some understanding about me, that what type of person I would be. You can have some understanding about Miguel, what type of person he would be, or Alejandro, and so on. It can be right, it can be wrong, that is another part, but it is just your perception. So with that perception, you are going to think about other people, and many times you are not going to even tell them. So these perceptions and biases and stereotypes, they also show in the work of programmers when they work on deep learning and machine learning and other things which you are discussing maybe in your personal discussion, because all of those things are dependent on the data. So how you will select the data, how you will prime it. Like if you see a black person with those features which come from, which are common features for anyone who is coming from a black ethnic background or black race, you might say some things which are maybe not true for all the people who are black, or all the people who are Muslims, or all the people who are blonde, or who have colored eyes. You would have some biases about all of these people depending on where you are coming from. So those things, what I'm trying to say, they reflect on the work of people when they program, and when because I was saying it is dependent on the data. So when they are selecting the data and priming it, somewhere it is going to show up. So that is again a big problem. uh, it's not a problem, it's a challenge. So if you are aware of it, you need to be mindful of these type of things when you are selecting data to feed in artificial intelligence and so on. That was one. And this is and then we spoke about AI in Europe and China, and this is where we were, AI and its application. So when you will click on this one, on top of the page, I was telling you that there is a this link which talks about technologies, and we went through this link last time. uh, just to sensitize you that you would be familiar with these things already, but I was just trying to do my part, that technologies, robotics, all of these things, machines, how much they have advanced. And we have covered these things, but later on over the weekend I was reflecting on that if I miss something which is very important for artificial intelligence and these type of things which we do. And these are the two articles, two clips I have selected. Let's watch them very quickly. Of course, I'm not going to show all of the clip to you. I'm just going to play a little part. You will watch the complete clip in your own time. Thumb, and she moved the thumb. I asked her to move the finger. She moved those. There is no connection, like just her thought in her thought, and her thoughts. With her thoughts, she's trying to move the muscles in her arm, and that is being read, and it is transferred. Yeah. So imagine that where the technologies have gone, and it does not stop here. What is even more interesting is that you can control the thoughts through your thoughts, you can control the body movements of other people. That is even more mind blowing. And this is a TED talk on that. It's 6 minutes long, but you of course are going to watch it uh, completely. But I'm just going to give you a glimpse from the audience. The guy has called this girl to come, and he is putting on some sensors and stuff on her arm, and then he is going to ask, and he's then doing the testing that what is the how it is well connected or not, and later on he's asking her to just don't move the arm, but in her mind, just 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 do it. And using the machine also, he's doing it. So he's pressing some buttons on the machine, and that is making her arm move. She's not moving it herself. But what is more exciting is that this is the part which I really want to show you, is he has brought someone from the audience, and the girl is going to move the arm of this guy using her thoughts. That is mind blowing. So I want you to reflect on
Your
that.
hand, so that your hand will move when your brain tells your hand to move. And so in a sense, she will take away your free will, and you will no longer have any control over this hand, okay? You with me? All right, so I just need to hook you up. All right, so I'm going to find your ulnar nerve, which is probably right around here. You don't know what you're signing up for when you come up and... So now I'm going to move away, and I'm going to plug it into our human-to-human interface over here. Okay, so Sam wants you to squeeze your hand again. All right, do it again. All right, perfect. So now I'm going to hook you up over here so that you get the stimulus. It's going to feel a little bit weird at first. This is going to feel like when you lose your free will and someone else becomes your agent, it does feel a bit strange. So I want you to relax your hand. All right, and Sam, you're with me? All right, so you're gonna squeeze. I'm not going to turn it on yet, so go ahead and give it a squeeze. All right, so now, are you ready, Miguel?
Ready as I'll ever be.
Okay, so I've turned it on. So go ahead and turn your hand. Do you feel that a little bit? Okay, do it again.
Oh, a little.
A little bit. Okay, so relax. No, hit it again. Okay. Oh, perfect. Perfect. All right, so relax. Do it again. All right, so now. All right, so right now, your brain is controlling your arm, and it's also controlling his arm. So go ahead and just do it one more time. All right, so that's perfect. So now, what would happen if I took over my control of your hand? And so just relax your hand. What happens? Nothing. Why not? Because the brain has to do it. Now you do it again. All right, that's perfect. All right, well, thank you guys for being such a good sport. This is what's happening all across the...
What a clever technology that is. Yeah, think about it. The girl is moving her arm with her will, and it is connected with the arm of the guy, and guy does not want to move his hand, but it will just move because of the connection. So the thought and all the other type of discussions which we have been having, especially on this page, AI and applications, we need to think about that, how all of this can connect, and how artificial intelligence can really do things which many people think that they might not be possible. Yeah, so that concludes our discussion on this topic, technologies. I have shown you briefly the clips, but you need to spend time and watch them in more detail. Um and these were the two which I added over the weekend, so I have shown you those also. Coming back to AI and its application, we want to complete that, and after that we want to uh, go through some PowerPoint slides, which will be later in this week, and what we want to, and then we'll see if there's anything missing, we will include that. But that is pretty much So let's see where we were uh, last week. I want to talk about this clip, and
With the assistant.
we need to watch all of it, and then we want to discuss it. So please watch it very carefully.
The progress with the assistant. As I said earlier, our vision for our assistant is to help you get things done. It turns out a big part of getting things done is making a phone call. You may want to get an oil change schedule, maybe call a plumber in the middle of the week, or even schedule a haircut appointment. You know, we are working hard to help users through those moments. We want to connect users to businesses in a good way. Businesses actually rely a lot on this, but even in the US, 60% of small businesses don't have an online booking system set up. We think AI can help with this problem. So let's go back to this example. Let's say you want to ask Google to make you a haircut appointment on Tuesday between 10 and noon. What happens is the Google Assistant makes the call seamlessly in the background for you. So what you're going to hear is the Google Assistant actually calling a real salon to schedule the appointment for you. Let's listen.
Help you. Hi, I'm calling to book a woman's haircut for a client. I'm looking for something on May 3rd. Sure, give me 1 second. Mm-hmm. Sure, what time are you looking for? At 12 p.m. We do not have a 12 p.m. available. The closest we have to that is 1:15. Do you have anything between 10 a.m. and 12 p.m.? Depending on what service she would like. What service is she looking for? Just a woman's haircut for now. Okay, we have at 10 o'clock. 10 a.m. is fine. Okay, what's her first name? The first name is Lisa. Okay, perfect. So I will see Lisa at 10 o'clock on May 3rd. Okay, great. Thanks. Great. Have a great day. Bye.
Please reflect on this part which you heard. So the customer was artificial intelligence, and they called a real salon. It was not planned or something. So think about that. And you know, the artificial intelligence say, that part, that was very, very clever.
That was a real call you just heard. The amazing thing is the assistant can actually understand the nuances of conversation. We've been working on this technology for many years. It's called Google Duplex. It brings together all our investments over the years in natural language understanding, deep learning, text-to-speech. By the way, when we are done, the assistant can give you a confirmation notification saying your appointment has been taken care of. Let me give you another example. Let's say you want to call a restaurant, but maybe it's a small restaurant which is not easily available to book online. The call actually goes a bit differently than expected. So take a listen.
See how may I hear you?
Hi, I'd like to reserve a table for Wednesday the 7th.
For 7 people?
It's for 4 people.
4 people? When?
Next Wednesday at 6 p.m.
Oh, actually, we leave here for like upper like 5 people. For 4 people, you can come.
How long is the wait usually to be seated?
For when, tomorrow or weekday or?
For next Wednesday, the 7th.
Oh no, it's not too busy. You can count for 4 people, okay?
Oh, I gotcha. Thanks.
Bye bye.
Please reflect on that, how hard that conversation was. The artificial intelligence is calling to the restaurant, and the person in the restaurant really confusing the person, asking the same question again. And you know, in the same instance, she asks when, where, what time, you know. how many people in one go. Still, the AI was able to put the context and then understand. It was quite a tricky conversation.
Again, that was a real call. We have many of these examples where the calls quite don't go as expected, but the assistant understands the context, the nuance. It knew to ask for wait times in this case and handle the interaction gracefully.
Why do students choose to study at BSB?
Please reflect on this, and this clip is from 2018. Yeah, May 2018, like 2 years old. And in the clip, CEO of Google is telling us that they have been working on this technology for many years. Yeah, it can be more than a decade or stuff like that. So right now, as we are speaking, these people who work on AI and stuff like that, they are working on amazing, exciting things, which if you reflect now, you would think that those things are not possible. But then this type of conversation was also not possible. Even now, if you reflect on it, it's quite challenging to really understand because of the complexity involved in this, and still AI is able to deal with this type of conversation. It is quite mind-blowing. So please watch this clip again and reflect on that. We just showed you two clips from the technology postings, which are linked with the girl did not had the arm, and uh, how that technology was helping her. This is another one which I liked very much. So the guy is trying to cross the hurdles, those little ones, with his artificial leg, but that is a challenge. But look at this natural one. Yeah, look at this. When the leg which is behind the hurdle, as it moves, see the movement of the leg. See this. Yeah, so a natural leg can do that, but the artificial limb, if you use it without the intelligence, then it cannot, as they showed in the earlier part. Yeah. So they have created some AI which helps this. This is it, and see it shortly. Look at that. Yeah, quite interesting. So it reads the obstacle. The obstacle is in front, and then yeah, that is what this clip is about.
When using the controller, the knee prosthesis movements change continuously according to the biological hip movements. As a result, users can change the foot clearance at every step. By voluntarily changing foot clearance, users can seamlessly walk and cross obstacles of different sizes. In our test, 3 subjects successfully crossed obstacles greater than 20 centimeters. The prosthesis does not detect the obstacle nor use
Yeah, please watch it very carefully. How they are just adding the obstacles, and how the leg is responding to that. Quite interesting.
and movements. The controller optimizes the prosthesis trajectory online based on the hip movements of the user. This enables the user to generate different levels of foot clearance while walking at different speeds and crossing over obstacles of different sizes with just a single controller. Because the power prosthesis continuously adapts to the physiological hip movements, change in the foot clearance is intuitive for the user. Navigating obstacles is essential to ambulation in real life. With this new controller, we're a step closer to clinically viable robotic prostheses.
Yeah, very interesting stuff. So please reflect on, and when it is posted, look at this date, July 23rd. Yeah, last week. So in this section, they have posted the study. When is the study posted? 22nd July. So this is extremely new technology. I found it over the weekend. Yeah. Please reflect on these things. Mind-blowing stuff. It looks very, simple, and but when you will read about it, you will learn that what it really takes to do this type of thing. Moving forward, again in one of the sessions we were talking about robot companions and stuff like that, and how AI is transforming that industry. Now this clip I have selected for you guys, but of course it is a longer clip, and just below this picture, this clip, this is the clip. So because it is a long one, it is 7 minutes long, and I don't plan to show you in the session, but it is worth watching. It's very fascinating. I'm going to show you just a little part, as we were talking about bias and those type of things. So a customer who bought this thing, I want you to listen to what he's saying.
Physically programmed.
I want to reiterate a point. I'm replaying something which he said. So when the reporter asked him that, this is weird and stuff like that, I want you to reflect on his response.
They will always be honest. They will have no malice.
Some people listening to this are going to think it's super weird.
I'm sure.
What would you say to them?
In 20 years, it'll be normal. I think everybody will have some form of robotic companionship.
Very interesting take. He's saying in 20 years it will be normal. That is how he thinks about it. So it's quite interesting. Quite interesting. All right. Human resource management, how we hire people. A lot of artificial intelligence technologies are going into that, and for that I have selected this article. Artificial intelligence, the robots are now this clip. This is 10-minute long clip. Exciting stuff. If you are not familiar with how artificial intelligence is being used in interviews, selecting the candidates and going through their resumes and then conducting actual interviews. If you are not familiar with that type of reading, you will be mind blown. Definitely. So when you are ready for that, you can watch this 10-minute clip in your own time. Of course, I'm going to just show you just a partial thing from the clip, but you should watch all of it in your own time.
For any job, so applicants could be eliminated for facial expressions that have nothing to do with the job.
HireVue sees the challenge differently. The company says that only the data points that are relevant in predicting what matters are really considered, and that their model attempts to capture all different facial expressions that have been seen in top performers. What about an AI review of the way we express ourselves on social media? Could that be a window into our compatibility for a job?
With DeepSense, essentially what we build this meta profile, a behavioral profile of every individual.
Amarpreet Kalkat's company is spearheading another trend in hiring, a move away from judging people based on their resumes and skills towards decisions based on people's personalities. His company, DeepSense, uses applicants' Twitter, LinkedIn, and other social media accounts to do more than just check for questionable behavior. DeepSense says that it runs scientifically based tests to surface people's underlying personality traits.
I'm skeptical that from a Twitter feed, you can determine my personality or anyone's.
It's not perfect, but now let's remember, everything is relative.
You don't need to tell people.
This is public data.
Is it legal?
Well, that is all public information, so yes, it is perfectly legal.
Is it ethical?
So that's the second question. When you're posting on Twitter, you're certainly not imagining that that information is being collected to be used against you.
So what's deep senses of who I am?
So Jason Bellini is a person who can be a little anxious sometimes. He likes to face challenges up front. That's true.
To test Deep Sense's tool, I actually did one of the personality tests. It's the one that Deep Sense used in its own benchmark testing. My results on Deep Sense were similar in 2 of the 4 categories, but in 2 others, the discrepancy is pretty wide.
I just wonder how companies are going to be confident that it's a real reflection of that person's personality.
So I know that most of the times it's telling me the right thing.
Calcat says 2 Fortune 500 companies are already using Deep Sense.
Can you tell me which companies they are?
I can't share the companies. I can tell you one of them is a consulting, one of the big 5 consulting ones.
Okay. They don't want people to know that they're using your service?
It's still experimental for a lot of people.
Not a lot of transparency at the dawn of AI assessing candidates. We, the public, can't see what's in the black box, nor in most cases do we know when it's analyzing us.
And it's important actually that we really stop to ask, is this working for society?
Amazing thing. I hope you got some glimpse of that 10-minute long clip. We just played 3 minutes. The first 7 minutes they are saying some things which can be disturbing also to some people. But in the clip which we saw, they are saying that the AI is looking at facial recognition, using facial recognition, some of the facial movements people make, and base their decision of hiring or not hiring based on their reaction of their facial movements and stuff like that. That is quite interesting. Why I picked these last 3 minutes, because they were giving a real example of a company which is doing all of those things. Deep Sense is the name of the company. Please explore the company a little bit more. They are saying that the data is taken from the things which we post online on Twitter, Facebook, wherever we are, and based on that, the AI makes a personality. What type of personality this individual would have, would they fit in the company or not, those type of things. And then what is interesting is that the interviewer asked the question that is it legal or not. So the response is that it is legal because it is in the public domain. So nothing is wrong in looking it up. You are sharing it with the world, but then they ask, is it ethical or not? So different people coming from different backgrounds are going to react to that one differently. So the point I want to really make is that one thing is legal and one thing is ethical. So many times you will see in AI and stuff like that, that many things would be legal, but then there would be some ethical challenges which you might want to mitigate. So please reflect on that. And they said that 2 of the Fortune 500 companies are using this technology. So it is not that they are not using. And then they said that one of the companies which is using is consulting firm from the big 5. Which are big 5? You guys would be familiar with big 5. They are, I think, Deloitte, KPMG, PwC, E&Y, and maybe one more. I'm forgetting the name. Yeah. So these are quite big international businesses. So the application of AI and then in the hiring process and so on, that is quite an interesting thing. This article just below this clip, a Reuters article, I have added that. Smile with your eyes. smile with your eyes. So just like, Google Duplex CEO, they showed us the technology where AI made calls and booked reservations and stuff like that. So voice tone and those type of things, putting words in the context, those things were used. But in this one now, the clip we saw about hiring, your facial movements and those type of things are being used. So just like, my camera is turned on and, you guys can see me, what facial movements I am making, where I'm smiling, where I'm not smiling. You make some comment how my facial expressions change. From that you can make some assessment, whatever, whatever assessment you want to make. But this one is now, AI will be doing all of these things. So AI would be looking at my face, and in the interview, based on the facial movements which I make, AI will decide that what I'm really thinking, because in your communication, basic communication courses, classes, they say that the body language and those type of things, hand movements and all of the body languages, they are like 70 to 80% of the communication, which is dependent on that. And verbal, the words are very little part. You can just run a Google search that what is the importance of body language in communication. You will know that it is like 70, 80, something like that. That is the significance. So when AI would be conducting the interviews or conversations, then they will be looking at your facial movements and then analyzing through that. And it is not something in the future, as I showed you in the example. It is already being done. If you guys can recall the facial recognition clips which we saw when we were talking about China, and of course there were some ethical challenges, and you guys were saying they should not maybe do this and whatever your comments were. But then now think about that, all of those facial recognition technology which they would develop, because of their access to more data, how they are going to beat the world in this type of understanding. But anyways, I like this one, smile with your eyes. So you and me need to learn how to smile with our eyes. What happens to, so genuinely what it means, that what happens to the eyes when someone is genuinely smiling or genuinely happy. Because you can make your face like this, like I'm making my face now. but you may not really know if I'm really smiling or not, because even if you are sad, you can make a face like this, which I have now. So let me stop sharing. So I'm from my face, you can see that, but Diago is a little bit serious, and Miguel is of course very serious. So now Diago has laughed and Miguel also laughed a little bit, but this can be faked, as you guys know that you can just put like this. So I'm sure if you are not faking it and you are genuinely happy with the discussion. But what I'm saying, in the interview, we always do these type of things. We have pet answers which we give in the interview, like we have memorized them. And Miguel, I think you are not concentrating today. Your light is not on today. The red light. So please concentrate. Remember that China clip where the light turns on when, yeah. So yes, so this can be, some people can say it can be fake, but what about the eyes? You can't fake the eyes. So learn how to smile using your eyes. If you can do that, then you can beat that AI. So this clip which I am trying to bring your attention to, smile with your eyes, how to beat South Korea's AI hiring bots and land a job. So please go through this. There's a clip also, you can watch this one, and uh, it's very interesting. Yeah, very interesting. And if you think about it, it is January 2020. So in January 2020 in South Korea, they were already using bots, AI hiring bots from start to end. Yeah. And this thing will eventually happen, because think about it, these companies, big companies, are recruit from all over the world. So applications come from all over the world. They open a job, we can't even imagine how many resumes are sent in the mailbox. There is no way they can read all the resumes. It's just not possible. It's just not possible. It is just not possible. So in those things, AI is going to really do the trick. And even in the hiring, like at least the initial interviews, initial screening, that can be done by AI. And then once people are shortlisted, 10, 20, 30 people are shortlisted, then they will maybe do the regular interviews, and then it would be a combination of both things. Yeah. So think about these technologies are really being, even I'm not sure how the things are in Spain and other part of Europe, Slovenia, Slovakia, Finland, those type of countries. I'm not sure what is the situation there, but let me tell you, in Jamaica, there is a company, security company, and one of my friends had an interview uh, in that company, and it was linked with the security and financial matters and a lot of cash and stuff like that. So he told me that the testing was really rigorous, and they were attaching machines to his body when he's giving the answer, to see if the machine also thinks that he's being truthful, he's not lying. Polygraph test or something like that, I think they call it. I'm forgetting the terminology. But these lie detection, tests, they were saying the seat on which he was sitting on some type of technology. So it was on his body, and the seat where he was sitting, that, and he, of course, he passed the test, because he's an honest guy. He does not, well, everyone lies every now and then, but generally speaking, he would not lie, and especially with financial matters and those type of things, he's very clean. So he passed the test. But think about it, these technologies, and not just the things which we discussed today, but the overall scheme of things. I'm sure you guys are reflecting on all of these exciting clips which I showed you today, and even the earlier clips which you saw on Friday. Before I take your commentary on these issues, let me show you what else is there for you to watch on under the AI and its application. So this is a conversation, aftershocks and opportunities, the future of AI. It's a very nice panel. Of course, it is very long, 2 hours long, and it is recently posted, 10th of July 2020. Not many people have watched it, but don't worry about it. I watched it and I found it very, very useful and very interesting. The panel is very good. Panel members: VP of AI, Samsung America; research analyst from the Center of AI and Robotics, UN, Netherlands; the Institute for Love and Time, executive director; London Futurists, futurist type of organizations are there, which look at the future, and they try to predict what would be the future like and make strategies and so on. The chair is there, and CEO Fast Futures. So futuristic people, Love and Time, AI, Robotics, UN Connection, VP of AI, Samsung. That is the panel. So it's very interesting. Talk. They talk about so many things, as you see from the title, aftershocks and opportunities. So I really encourage you, when you get some time, you watch this one. and see what you can learn from that. Then there are some companies which use, there are so many companies which use AI. But as I was doing my research, these companies kind of stood out based on how I was looking at them. So I have made these postings. Microsoft, how they are using AI, for example, in enterprise. KPMG, rethinking the value chain, how they are using AI. Intel, as you are familiar with the company. We gave some examples earlier also about Intel. And Accenture, yeah, these companies using AI. And of course, there are so many other examples. Just wanted to, give you some companies and how they are applying AI and application. As you know that the topic which we are looking at right now is AI and its application. So for that, I wanted to give you some AI and its application. This is what we are looking. I wanted to give you some taste of different companies. But of course, there are so many, and in other places on the websites also the examples are there. So those are company related examples, so you can reflect on those in your own time. And in the last part of AI and its application, I'm giving you this clip. Will AI take our jobs? A look at artificial intelligence in medicine. It gives you a very balanced opinion. I really liked it, so I have included the clips from this channel in various places. And I'm also trying to reach out to this person if she can come and maybe give us a couple of minutes and share her ideas about AI and essentially speaking how we should prepare for the future jobs and stuff like that. So I'm trying to link her for this our this session, Spanish session, or the session in Finland. So let's see what happens. But anyways, watch this. It's quite balanced opinion, and that is very important when we are talking about AI and stuff like that. Yeah. So these are some of the things which I wanted to show you in today's session. But please go ahead and make some observation. We saw many clips on. So first, the technology. We were talking about this in the last session. Stores, how robots are being used there. Amazon robots are being used. I showed you how competitive robotics are nowadays and their application in various areas. For example, cars technology is already available. Drones in food, drones in postal, drones as a taxi, drone as policing being used, and the ability which human beings have now to fly. And I've shown you these companies giving classes to other people. Today I showed you this link of controlling someone's arms by thoughts. So your thoughts are going in the machine, and that machine is linked with someone else's arm, and the arm is being moved. It is very fascinating. See, we are connected by this technology. So if we are connected with that technology which they are using in this TED talk, I can do like this, move my hand on my forehead, and Diago would also do the same thing. Yeah, or just like a while ago, Diago did something with his forehead, and all of us would be doing that also. If Diago is nodding his head, we will also nod our head. So we are far away from distance, but just by connection, this is possible. You can make someone do things which so this is quite a fascinating thing. So if you look at overall scheme of things, the advancement in robotics, machine learning, stuff like that, and then link it with AI, the possibilities in the future are endless. And I think we have already established that how useful AI is already in the current dynamics, current scheme of things. And then there were many other things which I showed you from the technology. And then we looked at the usage of AI in various industries, hotel and banks, facial recognition, bars, driving experience, construction, facility, vacuums. You just heard Google Duplex making calls which were not very, like, it was challenging calls. Music industry, the stability which uh, these type of robotic arms, when they are linked with AI, they have. We looked at this prosthetic limb, and on Friday we looked at this Jenga. It was quite interesting. This one can briefly look at this, like, see how difficult it is. It's not easy. It looks very easy, but if you'd have tried these type of games, how to move a little mistake, and all of the thing is going to fall. So we were watching this last week. And then the voice can be, cloned. Artificial intelligence can have the same voice as you or me, and how it can trick, fraud, all of those things. um, Looked at, uh, avatars, uh, and today we looked at this, companion, robotic companion. And the guy said that maybe not right now, after 20 years people have different forms of companionship, robotic companionship. It will become a norm. So think about those things. We spoke about the role of AI in hiring, uh, and then I asked you to look into these readings. So it is your time now, based on what we saw uh, on Friday, all the exciting clips from technology session, and then all the exciting clips from the site AI and its application. And maybe you got some time to, well, Miguel is excused because he was busy with the birthday, but rest of you were not doing anything, I think. You did not mention. So maybe you reflected something on that. So please make some observations on these things before we conclude. Please go ahead.
I don't know. Is my blowing the video of the hand and the other. I don't know. It's mind blowing that you can move another part of the body of the of the other person. I don't know. I don't know.
So Diago, based on all these clips which we saw, what really stands out for you, personally speaking? What made you excited? Or you saw something and you said, "Wow, this is interesting." Anything? If there was nothing, you can say that nothing excited you. That is fine. But I'm just assuming there should be at least one thing. So talk about that.
Mm, the I don't know. It all of the videos are interesting, but the prosthesis of the hand and the leg is amazing.
Yes, indeed it is, and I just found it last night. To be frank, when I was going out, uh, uh, I was trying to find some some new thing in the robotics, and I found that one. As you saw, it is published on 22nd of July. So if you are interested in this type of field, you have to be very active in knowing what is happening. Extremely active. It is not a field where you would not read about it for 1 month, 2 months, and you will be relevant. No, it's not that. Uh, you have to read on it, and if you are not reading, then you have to be very cautious in your conversation. Like there is some trick to this. So the trick is that if you are not reading much and you are reading every 6 months and stuff like that, that is also fine because you are doing other things. But then if someone is making some commentary, don't take extreme positions. Try to have a balanced point of view. So if someone says this will happen or that will happen, don't take extreme. Only take extreme positions if you are very well read on the topic. Yeah. So for example, China. Yeah, China facial recognition. All of you were not happy with that. But let me ensure you that what China is doing is, if you think from the leadership point of view, they are on the right track for the future. There is no other way, because think about it. EU, European Union, Europe, they are what they are doing the same thing which you guys are saying, ethics. So they are preparing documents for ethics. It should be done like this, it should be done like this, it should be done like this. When you are doing it like that, you are not doing anything. You are just working on ethics. You are not making any progress. But those people who are taking easy with the ethics and just experimenting with the things, they are going forward. And before you know, once you are gone forward, then it is very hard to catch the country. But I'm not trying to say what China is doing is right. Of course, ethical issues are there, but what I'm trying to say that unless you have read widely on the US policy, what US policy is, what China policy is, what is their rationale, and what is EU policy. If you are well read on that, then of course you can take any side. Like you can say EU, what European is doing, whatever they are doing is right. What China is, what US is doing, that is right. But without that, I would say just be careful, because what happens in that type of conversation, you would make some comments which are maybe not correct in the if you are aware of what are the things happening. So just be mindful of that. Yes, next one, please go ahead. Everyone wants to be the last person. Is that the case?
Well, I wanted to say something, and it's about related. I don't know if you remember, you told us to watch a movie. It was Ex Machina, you know. I watched it last night. Um, it was a good movie, a bit like Hollywood style, but I took like a great point from it, like in this AI race, everyone is just waiting for this, like this ultra intelligence, like a human being, and it is looking for this God, for this person that builds the machine, that is the God, no? And but I don't think that that is going to happen. I do believe that it's more like a lot of technologies that can work together, but there it's not about one person doing it. It's about more people in the whole world working on it. So as we can see, Google is working on how machines can talk to people, how can they process language, etc. Other companies, other people is working in other kind of technologies. So I do believe that we shouldn't expect like this person or this thing becoming just a work from few people. It's a work from whole humanity, you know. And I took a great point from that.
Absolutely correct, and I 100% agree. And Miguel has also watched Ex Machina, so I'm sure he would also agree that it is, and of course it is a lot of things in AI are fantasy also. Even the things which I am saying, that I'm just saying those things just to make you think more for AI. I don't mean that this will happen. Of course it will take time. Many things will happen, many things will not happen. So this concept which you have created, that whole of humanity, everyone has to uh, at least think about these type of things, the challenges, and play their part. As you it was your famous line that we need to find our sweet spot. So I really like that line. So I'm happy that you watched the movie, and I'm sure you enjoyed it. Yes, next one please.
I liked the robotic arms in all of the videos. I think they were quite interesting, but I'm thinking about the company who was like talking about, and you were talking about as well, like you need to smile with your eyes and the facial recognition during the interviews and how they're gonna go through social media and this Liga and stuff like that. I think it's an interesting thing because I don't know if you can just solely based of like a facial expression actually determine if the person is being honest or not, because some people have like quirks and some people have weird or different self expressions. Maybe they're looking away because I don't know, a different reason, not because they're lying or something like that. So the AI would have to be quite advanced to actually catch all the nuances of everyone's behavior. It's not just like, oh, someone smiling, they're happy. You know, some people smile when they're nervous and all of that. So that is quite a big challenge in my opinion. Not so easy to just say, oh, you're looking like, I don't know, whatever, you're looking like you're not saying the truth or anything like that. And also with the internet, I think it's interesting because a lot of people use the internet to as an outlet, tweet stuff they wouldn't maybe say out loud. They use it to connect with people. They don't use it as like a reflection of their professional self, you know? So I don't know if you can judge people based on tweets and retweets and memes and all of that, because that is just, you know, they're making fun. So there, I don't know, some people are serious on Twitter, but some people are just using it to, you know, as an outlet of like to tell their jokes or something like that. And I don't think you can based on that judge the person's personality, because some people have a different personality online and it is not a reflection of their true self. So that is, I don't know, a slippery slope if you just start the people based on their internet activity. I know employers do it already. They kind of do the background checks with the Facebook and all of that, but I don't know if it's the best thing to do. Uh, yeah, I'm unsure about that one. I don't think it's a true reflection of someone's personality. It can be, but it is not always a given. Those are my thoughts.
Sorry? That's Finn?
I don't hear you.
We don't hear you. The video that made me think a lot was the Baby X video that we saw on Friday, because it was like a different type of artificial intelligence instead of a technology that made our life easier. It was just like more like a concept AI to understand like our cognition better and our, I don't know, our knowledge and our that kind of things. And I think is like it's interesting how we can develop these kind of things and how they are fitting on our society related to the relationship stem that we are like having partnerships and I don't know, like girlfriends that are robots. And I think that that kind of investigation are very interesting, and I don't know, maybe they are good or maybe they are not, but they are interesting, of course, and they help us to develop interesting things.
I think he talked to you in the chat. He's asking if you think they will come in real.
What do you mean by coming in real? If
Claro,
they
que
are...
si piensas que se van a...
Si se van a cerrar lo de los novios y eso.
I don't know. I think yes, they are coming real, but I don't know if in like in a short time or a long time. But I think they are coming real. Yeah.
Thank you, Alejandro, for referring to the chat. So sometimes this connection goes out, so I can see the chat still, but I can hear you, but I cannot. So I was reconnecting. So thanks, Alejandro, for that. So Miguel, if that technology is there, would you buy one for yourself?
I don't think so. But I think they will be people that they will be educated that way, and maybe they will buy it. I don't know.
What about a cat or a dog?
But, yeah, maybe a pet, maybe.
There are a lot of cats and dogs to be adopted.
Yes, but maybe you can't
Very-
have them like you travel a lot or you're not at home, but you wanna have like a pet, you know, like so it's but maybe I can sell you one.
You can have a Tamagotchi.
I personally think that if the robots do become real, I think a lot of people will want a companion like that because already people are buying sex robots. Like it is a thing. People are very interested in those. Like they pay a lot of money to have those. So if you just put a little bit of artificial intelligence into it, so many people are gonna buy it. It's gonna probably just even push the industry to become bigger and bigger and to invest more in the research of AI for the companions, I think, because there's a lot of lonely people out here, especially in Japan. It's a big trend with the dolls and services. People are already selling like a companionship service, just talking to someone, you know. So I think if you just combine those two, it's gonna be like a lot of people are gonna say, no, I wouldn't ever buy that. It's gonna be weird, but those people are gonna buy those dolls and they're not gonna tell anyone. So I think a lot of people, especially those, as you said, maybe they travel a lot, so they don't have time to make real connections. And instead of buying a dog, they're gonna buy an artificial girlfriend and stuff. So I think I see huge potential in this trend, and I think is, in my personal opinion, if it's gonna become, it's already happening. So I don't know. I think it's gonna be real. I think it's gonna become a reality.
Very, very interesting comments. And think about these things. For example, it is yes, there are many people who are lonely and stuff like that. They will buy it, but it has less to do with loneliness also. Because think about it, people who have children, who have their wives, who have their husbands, everything is there, and they would have an extramarital affair. What is that? There is some thrill to that. Maybe I'm not sure, not experienced in that, so I won't be able to comment. But you see it in or across the world, in across cultures, you are seeing that type of trend. Those things are happening. So, and there are different needs. So one need is your girlfriend or boyfriend is going to fulfill. One need is your husband or wife is going to fulfill. And then there is one need which neither of them are going to do for you, but that artificial intelligence is going to do it for you. So there are different needs for different people in different times and space. Particularly, I really liked that question which Alejandro asked when Miguel said that he's maybe going to buy it, and that is what most of the people are going to say. But let me be honest about it. It comes and I can afford it, I'm going to buy it right away because I'm interested what happens. So I have no I have no ambiguity in that. So but Miguel said that he's not going to buy it, and that is the right way to respond it. But I really loved the question which Alejandro asked. As a matter of fact, I liked the question so much that in all the conversations going forward with other people now, when someone is going to say no, I'm going to ask this follow-up question, that what about pets? Are you going to buy those? And I am thinking most of the people are going to say yes, okay, I will buy it, and this. So why not a companion? Why? Because there is a taboo behind this. So think about that. Not saying for Miguel. I'm sure Miguel is a nice boy and he does not believe on these type of things. So no disrespect to Miguel or anyone else. But we are just trying to discuss these type of things. So think about this. What can be some of the challenges? One more thing I want to mention on this one, and then go to the comments which Zora made about AI. In these current times, COVID-19, if you look at the research, you will find out that because of COVID-19, many people had to stay at home. In staying at home, they had to live with their companions, with their families, with their, and in this time, the divorce rate went high. If you look at the statistics, just run a simple Google search. Divorce rate, impact of COVID-19 on divorces. And you are going to see some articles with numbers statistically backed across countries. So now, previously people were going on their own, going out and stuff. They had their work and whatever. They were not spending so much time together if they were busy. And the complaint was that why we don't spend time together. But because of this COVID-19, you spend time together, and there were so many challenges and spike in divorce rate. You guys can just run quickly this research and maybe share some statistics also. You will find it across countries. This is now confirmed. So in those circumstances, think about AI and the companionship and all of those things. So that is one thing you would want to think about. So when I got disconnected, I was still able to hear the comments of Zora, what she was saying about hiring process. And she was saying on Twitter and these type of things, many people just casually make comments and stuff like that, and they don't mean it, and nuances in the human facial gestures, different people mean differently. She gave a very good example that when you are looking away, the written material says that if someone is lying, they are going to maybe look away, maybe, yeah. They connect looking away, not having a direct eye contact with, not being truthful and stuff like that. But I know for a fact that many times I am like 100% honest and not lying, but I am not looking the person in the eyes because of respect, because we come from different cultures. So I'm sure Spanish culture is also same. We respect our elders. Like when we are talking with, I'm sure Zora's culture is also same. Like she would talk with her dad and have a frank conversation, but the element of respect is a little bit different than Western society. So we don't want to have a harsh communication with our parents and have a eye contact with them, and for a long period of time, and they are angry, and we generally we want to avoid that. So that is some cultural aspect is also there. So in that context, if AI is being used for hiring, it can be very tricky. But what I can say is that we still, although what Zora is saying is absolutely correct, that you can't really judge people on that. But now, because we know that in the future, almost all big companies are going to use some form of technologies to scan our resumes and stuff like that. So maybe we should be a little bit mindful. Yes, we can express ourselves, but just be sure that what is what. Because think about it, we spoke about Facebook, and they paid around 5 billion in fines and stuff like that, US dollar. Why they were fined 5 billion USD? They must be doing something wrong. There is something wrong, seriously wrong, which they did, which they were not supposed to do. And what was that? That was linked with data, people's data. So maybe they sold the data to people or did something with that. And that example which I gave you, that Facebook and these type of companies are always going to say that we are not doing this thing and your data is safe. But it is just like You have a room in your house and you say, I don't go there, but it is a room in your house, it is not locked. You can go whenever you want and no one will know. It is just like that. It is just like right now you have a bed in your room and you say, I will not look under the bed. But if you do, who is going to stop you? No one will ever know. Yeah. So this is quite tricky. So based on what Zora is saying, I think we should be a little bit mindful, because we have taken this course now together. So, and nothing is wrong, you know, we can have our own talks with our friends and whatever, but when we are posting something online, let's be a little bit more mindful, if we can. But again, it is a personal choice. Nothing is binding. As we are closing, I want to close on a short clip, and this will close our engagement for AI and its application. So essentially, it will close our discussion on all the things posted on this website. So I'm happy that Alejandro watched the movie. Alejandro, when you are going to click this link, course outline and book, when you click this link, this opens your course outline. At the bottom of that page, there is a movie for you to watch, or for everyone to watch. Yeah. So this is very interesting. So this is a short one. Please watch this one. And this is, of course, the longer movie. Augie is quite fascinating, very much linked with AI. So you click here for full movie. You might have to click couple of times, just like I showed you for the last movie, which was Ex Machina. So please see if you can watch it during this week, and maybe we can have a little discussion on that also. But of course, you will have to do it in your own time. But outside of that, these were the links for lectures. So we have gone through AI for everyone, master the basic, these 4 modules. Of course, we have not watched all the clips in our session. You have to watch them in your own time. AI and Europe, AI and China, and AI and her application. So we're going to watch final clip, which is very short, and that will close all the things which are on the website. And after that, going forward, we need to go through a set of PowerPoints, which I have compiled over a period of time. I just want to show you that, and that is basically it. Yeah. So, you know, all of these discussions which we have been having on AI and this and that and whatever, you know, sometimes, you know, you might think that, oh, this will not happen and this will not happen, and you know, this don't make sense. And I understand that sentiment. Of course, many things don't seem realistic, and many things you might think that this is not going to happen and that is not going to happen. But I want to show you this 1.5 minute long clip. This was recorded in 1974. 1974. Yeah. So please listen to this 1.5 clip very carefully.
Like this here, and the keyboard, and you'll talk to the computer, get information from it. And he'll take it as much for granted as we take the telephone.
I wonder though what sort of a life would be like in social terms. I mean, if our whole life is built around the computer, do we become a computer-dependent society and a computer-dependent individual?
In some ways, but
I brought along.
Yes, so I found it very exciting thing. So I wanted to share with you. 1974. In the background, you are seeing this big room, which is computer. So he's saying that, you know, in the future you will have a computer which you can have in your home and stuff like that, and do the things on that. This he's saying in 1974. And then later on, the question is asked that how that will impact the society, like the human beings, how they will be impacted, because is it not the case that they will be too much dependent on the computer? And I really liked his response. He's saying, yes, maybe we will be dependent on them a little bit, but it will enrich our experience and so on. If you look at the description, The guy is science fiction writer Arthur C. Clarke. Yeah, makes the bold claim that one day computers will allow people to work from home and access their banking record. And think about it now. What are the things we are doing? It is far more than what he is claiming, and it's not even the computer. We are doing so many things using our phones are like smartphones are doing all these type of activities. So just like that, nowadays you will see people claiming that AI is going to do that and that. So maybe it will take years for it to follow, but the chances are that at least some of the things and maybe more is going to happen than what we can perceive right now. So with that, I am closing the website part, the things which are posted. I understand that there are a lot of things posted on the website. You might not be able to watch all of them during this week, but feel free to keep engaged with the website, and whenever you feel like, you can go there and it will remain open. So please interact with that. Also, with this, I would like to close the session. Thank you very much.